the historical legacy of Juneteenth. The inaugural watch night services were held on January 1, 1863, also known as Freedom's Eve. That evening, African Americans, both enslaved and free, gathered in homes and churches around the nation to await word on the Emancipation Proclamation's implementation. Prayers were heard at the stroke of midnight when all enslaved individuals in the Confederate States were proclaimed legally free. Numerous black Union soldiers read miniature copies of the Emancipation Proclamation as they marched through southern cities and onto plantations, announcing the Confederate States' newfound independence. Slavery was only abolished nationwide in the United States through the 13th Amendment. However, freedom would not come to everyone in Confederate territory right now. Despite becoming operative in 1863, the Emancipation Proclamation could not be applied in areas still governed by the Confederacy. Therefore, enslaved individuals in Texas, the westernmost Confederate state, would not be free for a very long time. On June 19, 1865, around 2,000 Union soldiers arrived in Galveston Bay, Texas, signaling the arrival of freedom. The more than 250,000 black slaves in the state were declared free by executive edict, according to the Army. The newly freed inhabitants of Texas began to refer to this day as Juneteenth. For the entire country, the years after emancipation known as Reconstruction, 1865-1877, were a time of intense struggle, uncertainty, and optimism. Immediately after being freed from slavery, former slaves tried to start schools, bring forward radical legislation, seek for political office, and even file lawsuits against their owners to demand reparations. These were remarkable changes considering the more than 200 years of slavery. African Americans were inspired and given the power to change their lives, and the nation not even a generation after slavery ended. The second anniversary of our nation's independence is Juneteenth. Even though the African American community has long commemorated it, the majority of Americans are mostly unaware of this historic occasion. Juneteenth's historical impact demonstrates the need of holding on to hope during uncertain times. This notion of hope endures in the community at the National Museum of African American History and Culture, a location where new tales with equal urgency are recounted and historical events like Juneteenth are discussed.